World War II is recorded as one of the most devastating and impactful conflicts in human history. This war reshaped the world map, affected millions of lives, and altered the course of global politics. The primary aim behind Hitler starting the war was to propagate Nazi ideology and German hegemony across Europe and globally. Adolf Hitler aimed to reclaim the territories lost by Germany after the war, elevate the German people, and uphold racial superiority. Additionally, Hitler intended to implement policies of global dominance and carry out genocide against groups like Jews, Slavs, and Romani. Under Hitler's leadership, the Nazi Party gained popularity among the German population through nationalist, authoritarian, and radical policies promising hope. With Hitler's appointment as Chancellor on January 30, 1933, the Nazi Party's power surged rapidly, and Hitler quickly became an authoritarian leader. The party's dictatorship was solidified. Poland 1939. With the onset of the war, Nazi Germany swiftly invaded Poland using the Blitzkrieg tactic, executing a rapid occupation. The Polish army attempted resistance against the Blitzkrieg tactics of Nazi Germany. However, Germany's superior technology, tactics, air supremacy, and intense bombardment swiftly quelled Polish resistance. Hitler rapidly invaded Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg, securing a powerful position to advance into France. Blitzkrieg Lightning War was an effective military strategy employed by Germany in World War II. It played a significant role in the successful invasion of France by Nazi Germany. The Blitzkrieg tactic was a rapid and shocking attack strategy. German Luftwaffe's air superiority, along with tank units' rapid advancements and high mobility, easily overpowered French defense lines. The French military, unprepared for the speed and flexibility of Blitzkrieg, struggled to resist. Their military strategy was more traditional and static for that time. Facing difficulties against Blitzkrieg, the French forces were unable to defend adequately, lacking. Germany rapidly occupied France, highlighting the limited capacity of the French army and defense lines against Blitzkrieg. Following the occupation of France, Adolf Hitler and the German Luftwaffe initiated an aerial attack against England, known as the Battle of Britain. The Luftwaffe's main targets were the Royal Air Force RAF and British air bases in July 1940. Their aim was to destroy the RAF and seize air superiority to prepare for the invasion of England. Luftwaffe's air assaults primarily targeted strategic objectives such as RAF bases, industrial facilities, ports, and cities. Attacks were also carried out on British civilian areas. However, the RAF retaliated with counterattacks and stringent defense strategies. British fighter planes targeted German bombers and attacked strategic points to hinder German air raids. This defense, supported by effective radar technology and British fighter planes tactics, began to weaken Luftwaffe's superiority. The courage and defense strategies of RAF pilots started to break Luftwaffe's dominance. Simultaneously, the intensity of German air attacks and resource limitations began to impact British defenses. This process led to Germany's failure to invade England. British resilience and the success of the RAF significantly impacted the course of the war, halting Germany's advances in Western Europe. Depict Pearl Harbor Island during World War II, but there has been no bombardment yet. Let's just see the island from a bird's eye view or from the opposite view. Picture the American air base and American planes waiting on the ground, on the shore of the island with plenty of trees. The attack resulted in the destruction or damage of a significant portion of the US Pacific Fleet. Over 2,400 military personnel lost their lives, and more than 1,100 were wounded. Additionally, numerous civilians perished. This attack officially drew the United States into World War II. The next day, the US Congress declared war on Japan. This event expanded the war and transformed it into a larger global conflict. The Pearl Harbor attack served as a historical turning point. It generated significant anger and determination among the American people, binding the nation more firmly to the war effort. Additionally, America's entry into the war strengthened the position of Allied forces and altered the course of the conflict. The Battle of Midway is considered one of the most crucial naval battles of World War II, marking a critical turning point in the war's outcome. Taking place near Midway Island in the Pacific Ocean from June 4 to June 7, 1942. This battle involved the United States Navy against the Imperial Japanese Navy. The Japanese aimed to capture Midway Island and weaken the American Navy's strength in the Pacific. However, American intelligence had decrypted Japanese attack plans, giving the US Navy a chance to anticipate Japanese intentions. Consequently, the American Navy awaited the Japanese attack near Midway Island. The American Navy successfully targeted Japanese carrier fleets. The Japanese aircraft carriers Hiryu, Kaga, Soryu, and Akagi were attacked by American aircraft, resulting in the sinking of all these ships. The Battle of Midway was a significant defeat for the Imperial Japanese Navy. Following this battle, the American Navy began to dominate the Pacific. The Battle of Stalingrad was one of the largest and bloodiest land battles of World War II. It occurred between German and Soviet forces during the winter of 1942 to 1943 and was a critical turning point in the war. Stalingrad was a strategic target in Germany's ambition to occupy the Soviet Union's Eastern Front. Nazi forces, commanded by General Friedrich Paulus, attacked the city in August 1942. The battle took place street by street, building by building, and became a grueling urban conflict. Soviet forces, led by General Zhukov, defended Stalingrad fiercely, adopting a strategy of attrition and street fighting. The harsh winter conditions further complicated the battle, impacting both sides. The Soviets eventually encircled the German 6th Army in Stalingrad, cutting off their supply lines. The Germans, facing severe shortages of food, ammunition, and medical supplies, were unable to withstand the Soviet onslaught. The battle concluded in February 1943 with the surrender of the German 6th Army. This defeat proved catastrophic for Germany, signifying a turning point in the Eastern Front. The Soviet victory at Stalingrad boosted Soviet morale, dealt a significant blow to the German military, and marked the decline of German advances in the Eastern Front. These pivotal moments in World War II showcase the intricate strategies, decisive battles, and shifting tides that influenced the outcome of the war. D-Day is considered one of the largest amphibious assaults of World War II, involving attacks carried out with vehicles or troops capable of moving on both water and land. It was a major operation undertaken by the Allies to put an end to the Nazi occupation. D-Day is also known as the Normandy Landings and took place on June 6, 1944, on the beaches of Normandy. The Allied forces consisted of American, British, Canadian, and other Allied military units. This operation was planned as a significant counterattack in Nazi-occupied Western Europe. The operation required extensive logistical preparation, deploying thousands of military personnel, equipment, and ships to the Normandy shores. The Allies made comprehensive plans to land troops on beaches, seize strategic points, and advance. Among the main objectives of D-Day were to land troops on 5 main beaches along the coast and overcome coastal defenses. These beaches were Utah, Omaha, Gold, Juneau, and Sword. The most challenging resistance was encountered at Omaha Beach. Despite heavy losses against the German defensive lines, the Allies managed to progress gradually. The D-Day operation was carried out with significant coordination by sea and air. While the air forces targeted coastal defenses, the naval fleet provided support for landing troops onshore. Though initially challenging, the D-Day operation of the Allies was successful. Troops landed on the Normandy beaches, surpassed coastal defenses, and continued to advance, profoundly impacting the occupation. This operation marked a turning point in breaking Nazi Germany's dominance in Western Europe and reinstating freedom in Europe. D-Day, the Normandy landings, passed into history as a significant and strategic operation that changed the course of World War II and marked a crucial milestone towards the defeat of Nazi Germany. The Battle of the Bulge, also known as the Ardennes Offensive, was a major land battle that occurred in the later stages of World War II, beginning on December 16, 1944, and lasting until January 25, 1945. This battle is considered the last major German offensive. Under the command of German Field Marshal Gerd von Rundstedt, German forces launched a significant counter-offensive against Allied forces on the Western Front. This attack took place in the Ardennes region of Belgium and Luxembourg, where the weather conditions favored the Germans. The Germans aimed to break through Allied lines, seize the port of Antwerp, and cut off logistical support to the Allies. Their plan was to surprise the Allies with an unexpected attack and divide their armies. The initial German assault was a significant shock to the Allies and caused substantial losses. German forces made significant progress in some areas, surrounding American units they had encircled. However, the Allies quickly reacted. Units under the leadership of General George S. Patton were rapidly deployed to the region, and the German advance was halted due to improved weather conditions and the impact of Allied air power. Subsequently, the Allies launched their counter-offensives and continued their advance towards Germany. This battle is remembered as the last major German offensive on the Western Front, resulting in considerable German losses. The discovery of the Buchenwald concentration camp by the Allies occurred towards the end of World War II. This concentration camp was one of the several internment and extermination camps set up by Nazi Germany in the territories it occupied. Initially used to detain political prisoners, Buchenwald camp later received people from various groups such as Jews, Roma, Soviet prisoners of war, intellectuals, and dissenters as the war progressed. When American forces entered the camp, they found thousands of malnourished, sick, and tortured prisoners. The camp was liberated by the US Army on April 11, 1945, following the defeat of Nazi Germany. The liberation of Buchenwald exposed the brutality of Nazi persecution and the horrors of the concentration camps to the global public. The Allies examined the dreadful conditions and inhuman treatment within the camps and brought it to the attention of the world. Following this event and towards the end of the war, the Allies investigated more camps to uncover the atrocities and crimes committed by the Nazi regime. These liberated camps led to the trials of war criminals in international courts such as the Nuremberg trials, officially acknowledging the crimes committed by the Nazi regime. However, many Nazi soldiers were acquitted due to lack of personal evidence linking them directly to the crimes they were accused of. The dropping of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki were nuclear attacks carried out by the United States against Japan in the latter stages of World War II. On August 6, 1945, an atomic bomb named Little Boy was dropped on Hiroshima by the US. This bomb led to massive destruction and death in the city. Thousands of people perished instantly from the explosion, causing significant devastation in the city. Long-term effects were felt due to radiation and burns. 3 days later, on August 9, 1945, a second atomic bomb named Fat Man was dropped on Nagasaki. This bomb also caused significant destruction and loss in the city. Similar to Hiroshima, thousands lost their lives, and the city suffered considerable damage. As a result of these two atomic bombings, numerous individuals died instantly or later due to the effects of radiation, and many others were severely injured. Moreover, these attacks led to long-term health issues, radiation effects, and environmental damage. The dropping of atomic bombs hastened Japan's surrender and brought an end to World War II. However, these attacks sparked debates about the significant humanitarian tragedy and the destructive power of nuclear weapons. The consequences of World War II were extensive, leading to significant changes in many areas. Estimates suggest that 70 to 85 million people lost their lives. Military casualties numbered between 21 to 25 million. These losses illustrate the devastating nature of the war on both the battlefield and civilian fronts. The Holocaust was one of the darkest and most horrific aspects of the war. As a result of Nazi Germany's policy of Jewish genocide, 6 million Jews and many other minority groups were exterminated. Overall, the inhumane crimes and war atrocities committed by the Nazi regime left a deep mark among the consequences of the war. At the war's end, state boundaries in Europe were redefined. With Germany's defeat, the Berlin Wall was erected, dividing Germany into East and West Germany. Furthermore, the geopolitical balances of major powers shifted due to the war. The influence of former colonial powers like England and France diminished, while new superpowers like the United States and the Soviet Union emerged. The Cold War era commenced, marking a significant transformation in global politics. The consequences of this were left profound impacts on international relations, global politics, and human history. The war's destruction and inhumane sufferings led to a stronger global effort towards peace and cooperation, playing a significant role in shaping the current world order.